Day 5 of testimonies in the Diddy trial has just wrapped up, and things are getting more intense. A Homeland Security agent has now revealed that some of Hollywood's biggest names were secretly connected to Diddy. We're talking about Kanye West, Michael B. Jordan, Ashton Kutcher, and even Steve Harvey, all names being brought up in court, suggesting that others may have known about Diddy's actions. And it doesn't stop there. Justin Bieber has finally spoken out about the Diddy allegations, revealing his own link to the music mogul. Things are heating up fast, so let's break it all down. Here's why names like Michael B. Jordan and Kanye West are being mentioned during Sean Diddy Combs' trial. As jury selection began on May 5th in New York, NBC News reported that prospective jurors were shown a list of over 100 names of people and places that might come up during the trial. This list included celebrities like Michael B. Jordan, Mike Myers, and Kanye West. Now, while these stars are not accused of anything, jurors were simply asked if they recognized any of the names and whether that might affect their ability to stay neutral. The court didn't give a reason for why these specific names were included. The list also featured women who filed legal actions against Diddy, like his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura, whose November 2023 sexual abuse lawsuit was settled, just a day after it was filed. Also on the list, Danity Kane's Dawn Richard, who sued Diddy for sexual assault in September. Diddy has denied all the allegations in both cases. But here's what's interesting. As this trial goes on, more celebrities are starting to disappear from the public eye. Ashton Kutcher, for example, seemed to know this was coming and stepped away from Hollywood years ago. Diddy reportedly played a role in the end of Ashton's relationship with Mila Kunis, and Ashton liked.
And whenever these trials come about, the closer you get to the trial date, a lot of things start happening to remove people from the case that are going to strengthen the case for the prosecution. And I feel like we're watching that take place now with one of the male sex worker guys who provided tapes to the feds. He's disappeared. And this is similar to what happened in the Tory Lanez case, where the bodyguard whose DNA was on the weapon, he disappeared. So I expect to see a lot of strange things take place. I expect to see the defense team do a lot of steps to lighten the image of Combs, and we've been watching that take place.
From what you know about him, Sean Combs, obviously the perception of him has changed dramatically since these allegations were made and since he got charged. I mean, from everything we're seeing now, he seems a very unpleasant, nasty, violent piece of work. Is that a correct assessment?
The assessment is going to be correct. So what I've learned is whenever you see a gentleman like this from affluence and power, whenever they have an addiction to MDMA or the drug ecstasy, they call it the love drug. So he's been doing this drug for over 20 years. So that's going to lead his view skewed when it comes to sexual activity. I believe it's helped turn him into a sexual deviant.
Likely realized that once Diddy goes down, everyone who helped him could go down too. Ashton isn't innocent, and he knows it. The same goes for others like Will Smith, Justin Bieber, and T.D. Jakes. The walls are closing in. Publicly distance themselves from Diddy Hollywood is a dangerous place. And according to Hollywood, Howard, the life...
Now to Demi Moore. She revealed in her memoir that she was sexually assaulted at the age of 15, writing that her mother let the abuser in their home. Well, today, Demi talked to Howard Stern more about this on his Sirius XM radio show.
But you say you pushed it away. You don't need, you just
I
recently...
pushed it away because I felt like it was my fault. Like I felt like I had behaved in a way that was
provocative
and mature, like I really knew a lot. And I never really looked at myself as being a kid. And so I never looked at it as rape. I mean, I saw it as an unfortunate and, you know,
Yet he forced you into it.
I was very embarrassed by it. In all honesty, I think that the shame I carried because of the rape made me afraid to feel I could comfortably express myself sexually.
It makes me just remember the conversation that I had with her where she talked about the purpose of her writing this book was to share her story in hopes that it would empower other young women. She did talk about a lot of other things to Howard Stern. She said she auditioned for Top Gun, obviously didn't get the part, but would later work with Tom Cruise as a co-star in A Few Good Men.
Yes.
One of my favorites. If you love that video, you're gonna love everything on the Access YouTube channel, so hit the subscribe button. You can thank me later. Hit it. Now. Thanks.
Lifestyle is unhealthy, and you are forced into doing things you don't want to do. A lot of these people were probably abused themselves at one point, and that's what led them here back in 2019. Demi Moore revealed that her mother used to let men sleep with her back when she was just a child in exchange for $500 show, but you say you pushed it away. You don't need you, just an...
Do you believe she sold you?
I think in my deep heart, no. I don't think it was a straightforward transaction, but she still did give him the access and put me in harm's way.
Anxious teen, she is taken by her mother to bars so that men will notice them. She's 15 when she comes home one night, and an older man they know is in the apartment with the key. She writes, "It was rape and a devastating betrayal revealed by the man's cruel."
A freak? I would say he's definitely a freak.
I heard some wild stories. I heard he had
We all heard that.
Yeah, you know
but then, come on, I want to hear what you heard.
I mean, I heard that he had this dude Ashton Kutcher bent over.
Now I'm gonna tell you the truth. Him and Ashton Kutcher was really tight. We used to go to his crib. He had a penthouse on 74th and 8th Avenue on Central Park West.
Question: how does it feel to be wed by your mother for $500?
So, I can't tell that one either. I mean, I'm like actually cycling through them. There was one moment, so it's not really a party story, but our relationship was really bizarre. So it started over punked, because he was like, yo,
don't punk
you
me.
can't punk me. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you. Everybody's on the table. He's like, not me, I'm off the table. And so that started our conversation. We became fast friends, and we used to just hang out and watch football together.
$100. What happened with Demi Moore is horrifying, but the fact that she would later go on to become friends with Diddy and be a regular at his parties is even more shocking. Demi Moore was married to Ashton Kutcher, and Ashton was Diddy's right-hand man during the early 2000s. He was at every white party, a freak. I would say he's definitely a freak eye. For someone like Demi Moore, who was abused as a child herself.
Okay, one more time. Why do you think you have to come out?
I don't know. Maybe just because I love them all and I hope they all love me.
We do love him.
And I love them.
I think it's for your publicity, you're out of your mind.
Absolutely, because he's one of my most favorite people.
How long have you been working on the show?
Almost a month and a half.
What's your role?
I'm Lucy Love.
And I'm Philip Tanzini and I play Jeremy and you're stealing my card. I'm sorry.
We're moving on to interview number 2 here.
Oh, okay.
Because I love Philip and he's the only one I love.
Do your interview already.
All right. I'm Lucy in Love, but personally, I love Philip. And that's it, okay?
We got our new storyline cooking up pretty soon.
I want to say happy birthday to Philip because I love him dearly. He's one of my most favorite people.
How long have you known him?
For about 3 weeks. And he's been terrific.
She's great.
It's unbelievable that she would get involved with people like Diddy and end up abusing minors herself. A resurfaced video from 1982 has recently drawn attention. The footage shows Demi Moore making out with 14-year-old Philip Tanzini while appearing to be drunk back. In the early 80s,
I've been on FBI raids where I've seen things that no person should ever see. I've seen video content of a child that's the same age as mine being raped by an American man that was a sex tourist in Cambodia. And this child was so conditioned by her environment that she thought she was engaging in play. But the right to pursue happiness for so many is stripped away. It's raped. It's abused. It's taken by force, fraud, or coercion. It is sold for the momentary happiness of another.
At the time of the video recording, Demi was married to Fred Moore. She's a great Ashton Kutcher's mask is coming off Diddy. Isn't even the first sexual predator that
We are aware of the pain that has been caused by the character letters that we wrote on behalf of Demi Masterson.
We support victims. We have done this historically through our work and will continue to do so in the future.
A couple months ago, Danny's family reached out to us and they asked us to write character letters to represent the person that we knew for 25 years so that the judge could take that into full consideration relative to the sentencing.
The letters were not written to question the legitimacy of the judicial system or the validity of the jury's ruling.
They were intended for the judge to read and not to undermine the testimony of the victims or re-traumatize them in any way. We would never want to do that. And we're sorry if that has taken place.
Our heart goes out to every single person who's ever been a victim of sexual assault, sexual abuse, or rape.
Ashton Kutcher was friends with during his time with Monason. The 70s show Ashton Kutcher was best friends with convicted child rapist Demi Masterson and even had a bet with him that he could make out with 14-year-old Monas when Demi Masterson was convicted of rape in 2023. Ashton Kutcher came out publicly in support of him and even submitted letters to the judge.
Steve Harvey also has a very inappropriate relationship with the diddler. And the truth is, a lot of these older men push their daughters to hook up with their celebrity friends so that they can keep the favor machine going. How do you share with your daughter, you know? Like they share that experience now? This nigga's wild. You heard about what he did in the Macy's room to the Echo clothing guy? Like Diddy's an animal. Who introduced their daughter to that? Why is not nobody looking at Steve Harvey sideways, G? You let your daughter date the diddler?
Hey, was Michael B. Jordan there? I know he's dating your daughter now. So was he sharing Christmas with you?
Yeah.
Look at that. That's happening in front of you?
I've never seen that picture before. Very uncomfortable with that picture right there. I'm not really feeling that picture.
Going around Hollywood saying that in the late 90s, Diddy, which I know about this because I had a friend who worked detail on the party, invited Steve Harvey to one of his famous freak-offs and then recorded Steve Harvey in a very compromising position with somebody else, if you know what I mean. Which doesn't bode too well for Mr. Family Man, you know what I mean? So, the freak-off situation got pretty crazy. There was a tape circulating, I have seen the tape. But the problem here is Diddy has been blackmailing Steve Harvey for the last 25 years, including, and this is also some reports that I've been able to verify, Diddy was dating his daughter, as well as Diddy's son was dating his daughter, and people said reports that Diddy was using her as an ATM machine.
Personally attesting to Danny's character. As we peel back the layers, another name that keeps coming. Up connected to Diddy is this. Many celebrities get roped into doing things they don't want to do. The entire industry is filled with predators who work together to cover up each other's crimes. Couch casting is still very much alive in Hollywood, and Diddy is just a small cog in a very big machine. The day you let someone use you sexually in exchange for favors in this industry,
you got to take drugs. You're going through so much shit to try and deal with life. You are literally, it's an unhealthy space. And so eventually you're going to go too far, you know? Who knows what happened to Philip? Who knows what he had to do in order to get to where he was at? There's a lot of things that people do that end up sitting and they can't get over it. And they got to keep getting high, hoping to get it out of their head, you know? But when you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
No, I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time. You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through. Like if a woman gives up her womanly right of being a mother and taking care of her family and do all those things, when you give up those things, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Get punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there because they get fluid. And next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your man card.
Is the day you lose yourself. You have to stand by your boundaries and respect yourself. You don't fully recover after giving yourself up like that. This is allegedly what happened with Justin Bieber, although his representatives now deny any abuse allegations. But video footage and Diddy's body language from when they were together suggest something shady was going on. Even now, the abuse Justin suffered still clearly affects him. Justin Bieber finally broke his silence on the ordeal after months of speculation over their one-time relationship. His rep told E.T., "Although Justin is not among Sean Combs' victims, there are individuals who were genuinely harmed by him. Shifting focus away from this reality distracts from the justice those victims deserve." Bieber's questionable connection to Diddy is gaining attention online.
Let's just go get some girls. Let's go get some girls.
Man after my heart, that's what I'm talking about. We hit him like this, so me and you walking, we hanging out, you know, a little later on the night after the Usher concert.
There's also this old Jimmy Kimmel Live segment, adding to fan fears about what might have gone down with Diddy.
Got me a Lamborghini.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last time.
He had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Oh, apparently not.
Everything ain't for everybody.
As the rap mogul's indictment for sex trafficking and racketeering charges, which he denies, made headlines. Old clips of the two hanging out while Justin was underage have resurfaced, with remarks like, "Let's just go get some girls," and "Let's go hang some girls." All of this comes as Bieber's followers worry for him. His erratic social media posts raising concerns week after week. He's seen the dark side of the industry firsthand. Terrence Howard shared insight on why Justin Bieber...
You see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what benefit is that if I lose my integrity? You got to go in as a principal. And what we were brought in here as men. We produce 1,500 sperm per heartbeat for a reason, because the aggression is necessary. You don't trade that in, no matter what.
Bieber might be acting out the way he is. Once actors give up their integrity or are forced into sexual acts, many try to bury those memories with drugs. You can't just move past that trauma. Eventually, it defines your entire existence. Other big names like Bishop T.D. Jakes and Will Smith have also stepped back from the spotlight after distancing themselves from Diddy.
To many in the religious community, Bishop T.D. Jakes has been a spiritual advisor to presidents and a religious voice to thousands. Now he says it's time to pass the baton to a new generation.
This is a beautiful moment for me.
From the pulpit Sunday, Bishop T.D. Jakes announced that he was stepping down from leadership at the Potter's House, the Dallas megachurch he founded in 1996 and has led ever since.
I cannot afford, especially after November, to risk something happening to me and you be sheep without a shepherd.
Just 3 days before Diddy's trial was set to begin, T.D. Jakes announced he was stepping down as lead pastor of the Potter's House megachurch. This is a man often seen with Diddy. Could it really be a coincidence he's stepping away right before his friend faces trial for sexual assault? It's a similar story with Will Smith. At a concert in San Diego, Smith addressed rumors about his friendship with Diddy, denying any involvement. Still, Will has attended Diddy's parties for years, and there have even been reports of threesomes involving Diddy, Will, and Jada. Becoming part.
But the world we're in right now, it's really hard for y'all to discern what's real and what's true, you know? And I've been seeing y'all memes and stuff. People be making memes. I see the memes. I say, no, some of that stuff is funny. Some of it's funny. But I haven't addressed any of this publicly, but I just want to say this very clearly. I don't have to do with Puffy, so y'all can stop all their memes. I can stop all of that. I ain't been nowhere near no damn freak off. Listen, I do enough of my own. Don't be putting me in other people's. I ain't been nowhere near that, man. I ain't did none of that stupid. So, whenever y'all hear it, if somebody say that, it's a damn lie. I don't even like baby oil. But I haven't said that publicly. I just said y'all the first time. I usually don't respond to dumb stuff because it's like people. It's so many things people say, so much stuff. But you know that one, it was your memes was doing too much. Y'all was having me mad.
That inner circle makes it almost impossible to escape. On an episode of Piers Morgan Uncensored, celebrity bodyguard Big Homie CC revealed that people who challenge Hollywood's status quo tend to disappear. Whether it's Ashton Kutcher, Demi...
Right. Well, Piers, let me ask you a question. From your journalistic perspective, have you ever noticed how in this industry, people untimely meet their demise as soon as somebody else seems like they're having a problem? Have you ever seen that before?
Well, there was, of course, the case of one of his other ex-girlfriends, Kim Porter, who died of pneumonia at a very young age. You just referenced your own situation with pneumonia that you believe was deliberate poisoning. Do you believe that may be what happened to her?
Why are so many people coming down with pneumonia? Why is that happening to everybody? What is that about? Where have you ever seen this many cases of pneumonia associated with one situation? So, you know.
There were rumors.
I'm not saying.
Well, I was going to mention on this that there have been rumors circulating online that Diddy may have poisoned Jamie Foxx, which caused his 2023 hospitalization. In his Netflix show, he compared Combs to the devil in revealing his near-death experience after a brain bleed and stroke. He said, I say this all the time, I saw the tunnel, I didn't see the light, it was hot in that tunnel. I thought, shit, have I gone to the wrong place? I looked up the end of the tunnel and I thought I saw the devil saying, come on, or was that Puffy?
Demi Moore, Steve Harvey, T.D. Jakes, or Will Smith, the truth eventually catches up with them. At some point, fame, money, and NDAs all lose their power. Justice may move slowly, but it's not blind. We'll keep watching. We'll keep digging. And we'll keep speaking up for the voices that were never meant to be heard. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because this trial is far